Well, welcome back. So this is the EOHD part 16.5, where we're going to tackle a little bit about the super boss we are facing at the finale of the game. I guess it's not gonna be that much of spoiling anyway at this point. But yeah. So we're going to talk about the last part at this point anyways. I'm just gonna be ready before we further talk about it. So there you go. So let's tackle about the super boss of this game and discuss and analyze the bosses. So first and foremost, if you have no idea what a super boss is, it's always going to be in a post game of any just RPG that has it. It's always also time as always are the final boss, the very final, the strongest final boss of an RPG, I guess. So no matter what, it will always be the strongest. And as always, there's a lot of bullshit going on as well. Of course, that's not very important when talking about superbosses. So some of them also have extremely absurd and also can sometimes shut down a lot of members immediately. And instead, it can really instant game over if you're not very prepared. It's also a testament of which classes will be the best to beat the super boss, and slower it will cause kind of tearing at things. Well, of course, as well, super bosses also do get their own tiers anyways if you want to talk onto that kind of way, I guess. Not really. Well, we're not going to do that at least. And now we're going to tackle a little bit and analyze the super boss of EO1. And as well for their master EOIHD. Super boss also appears in the remake, although they function kind of differently and have much better pattern, but they're still fairly locked at this point. So yeah. And then let's analyze Primevil. Alright. So it's a true final boss of the jealousy game and remake. One thing first, before we even get to this super bossing, as you noticed before, there's a boss that blocks it for, and that's where we stop. And because we are going to also kind of pseudo boss rush anyway with weaker versions of the dragons we fought. Which is the Stormclaw, also known as the Dragoid, the Blizzard Cloud, also known as the Dragoid, and Dragonclaw, also known as the Wormwood. They're not much to worry about anyway. And funny enough, all of these three clones that you do do only have one collection. Everything else is extra job that you can get. Important here is the full core. Fortunately, that means, and this is the reason as to why the items of the game are very annoying to farm. Because it's only here, and you can only get them by beating them again and again. Sometimes they don't think. I think it's not guaranteed at all. I think. So apparently, they also have the skins as well: the Volt skin, the Cross skin, and the Flame skin. Again, it's not to worry that much. I guess the only one that I still need to worry is the Blizzard Bloom, so I will bring my protector one more time for this boss anyways. Just so we don't fucking randomly get incident from like 0 point. Other than that, not to worry that much. It's nothing to worry that much at least. Because compared to the dragons, they barely have resistance. Their immunity is whatever element they are, of course. And after you beat all all 3 of this into the 3 consecutive rooms, the 4th room will be this. And it's a no joke of a boss. This guy has just like a lot of just powerhouse move, but nothing like physical plus ailment, like in the later games and things. So it can be still like fairly be without any issues. The only 2 things that you need to worry about is basically membrane / necrosis, because it still leads to necrosis anyway when there is membrane, and I will use later. And Pentangle. Also pollen, though it will only come up if you meet certain conditions. That's all I will say about it. So most of it is like, yeah, just it deals very heavy damage. So let's look at the stats of this sound, like the full stats at least, until like the arcade. Primevil does have like 585 strength. The highest strength of all, of course, it's a superboss. What do you expect? And due to this extremely ridiculous high strength, a boosted max immunize is mandatory. It's absolute mandatory. Sure, you can fight it without immunize, but good luck with that. And the only other way to fight this without worrying that much about like the high strength is to farm Adamas, which I firmly say what I would do, but this is the fucking most starving one, and I would not recommend doing it. It requires like 50 per each fucking Adamas anyway, and like 50 Cullinan, and for mining them is absolutely atrocious. I would never recommend it. I do have a different tactic for this instead, and you'll see later. I will talk about it later after this. Also, having Adamas as well means that if you go for this route, you're going to need to have all elemental wall available. Every single elemental wall available, and having a protector in the fight. Which again, I guess pretty much better, but you're gonna deal like a lot of luck base around the physical part. And that's a reason as to why I might not really go for this route, as well as another thing. So it is definitely, I guess, much better. I want to try something I really feel interesting. So yes, here it is. Explode, Rigid, and Storm. Deals like 900% tech damage it does. Fire, Ice, and Wall respectively, and it's very fast. It's 200%. So like, yeah, it is absolutely very dangerous. No matter what, you actually have to have basically at this point like walls and design, or to another matter. I'll talk about it later. Let me check if it's still recording. It's still recording. So, and here we go to the fucking attack. To their physical skills, I guess. Slash. Okay, it doesn't matter if it uses an arm because I'll show you right now a bit about disable vulnerabilities. it's immune to everything. I mean, that makes sense, but like every single ailment binds, you cannot use them. They are practically useless if you have built them that way. And if we still wanted to use Hexter, I would just go. You just lean to like the debuffs. It's best as well. But at least to make that up for it, the damage vulnerabilities, they are all weak too, and all have 150%. They're still not immune to stun up me, so that's pretty good. So, and enough like side episode, let's tackle about so the physical attacks. So slash can attack that deals 100% damage to a single target 4 times. See, even without immunize, it doesn't matter if it hits 4 times, it will just deal, it's just straight up dead. If it hits any member that don't have immunize. And even if they survive, and even if they're like just max immunize but not boosted, they will still die. So I would just, so this alone just really requires to like have a max and also boosted max immunize, like boosted max. The same thing for rush, even if it's on 30%, it will still kill that, thanks to the high rate. And we have smash, which is again just deadly at this point, which is mostly one shot. Like I said before, it's just best to not like fucking. It's just best to like have an immunize at this point, or if you don't really want to, well, just farm for Adamas, which again is simply not worth it. And then we have some of the skills that are just at this point basically either through condition or just like appearing like at later at the last stage of the fight, or meeting conditions. I think Cyclone do appear, though it's very weak. Or I think, yeah, Cyclone appears. It's just again another condition. Segment is always going to be used if you see this other skill result. Neutralizes all buffs on the party. It always will go last, so if you try to buff more, then it will use resolve. So, and after resolve, whatever skill they use, it's either any of these 3 or either of these 2. Segment, which also still sucks balls because it's just a full one. It's just a very big percentage of it. You don't want that. It's 100% speed modifier. And also, or you can also get pollen. Another bit. Sorry. Which is inflict every single ailment, including petrify. Has a 35% chance, which means it will still likely land due to at least having a really good tech. Even then, this rolls for like 6 times. Also appears when it uses resolve. I'm not sure if there's anything else that I use pollen. I'm trying to remember. We can see it after this. So again, resolve. Yeah, it tries to solve buff to the party. Will only be used if you always use 10 or more. 9 is good, but 10, it's a no. And we get to see some of the interesting skills, like this wall. And thank God it is never used as well. I think in Remaster it is also never used, and they never fix this because this already has it. So what walls does is notifies all physical damage for 5 turns and reflects it back at the party. Which, funny enough, like, that's already terrible. since most of the time anyway it will be using physical enemies. If this got in, it will be even worse because it becomes like a stalling game. And even then, if it works, there's also a follow-up skill. I don't remember, I think the other is also pollen, I guess. If it ever works, it will either entangle or another skill. You can check it here later. Then the one that got in are working, membrane, which shall applies whole elemental damage for 5 turns and reflects it back to the party. Which, again, is very bad, but at least we're not doing elemental damage, at least. It's at least not to worry about. However, this skill is also dangerous, even if it can be like avoidable by just having physical attackers. Well, because it can also use fucking necrosis, which I will talk after that. Let's talk about entangle picks. So this is one of the run enders if the bots are going to get expired. The Flexing Mage attempts to inflict head, arm, and leg on the entire party and has a whopping 90% infliction rate. And that is still very bad. Funny enough, this skill only appears at 75% and 25% of like the fight of HP. 25% HP and 25% HP. And 75%. Like I mean 75% to 50 and then 25% to death. And it's only dangerous if it's like if it appears during 75%. 70% infliction rate. Again, very dangerous if your buff will run out. If not, well, it's not the end of the road. You can still recover to it. So, and here we go, the final and the bullshit of the fight, necrosis. That's not use a body part. Attempts to inflict instant death the entire body. To be honest, the use does not being a part of the skill is just fucking, or limbless skill. It's just like an icing on the cake because again already you cannot fucking disable it. Again, has a whooping 90% infliction gems. That's all you need to know. Doesn't matter about speed modifier. It's so very bad. So again, this skill will also only appear if it uses membrane. Where membrane is during like 75% of the fight. And it can be a run ending if this appears. So as much as we can, we have to like damage as fast and as we can. And as well while also avoiding to like do certain actions that could trigger fucking membrane as well. And also this also appears at 25% of the fight. Like really random. It doesn't need to use membrane. They can just straight up use this and end the fight. So it's really dangerous. So let's see about how interesting the enemy freaking goes. So now this is the pattern. Dice at 1 and 6. Every 1 and 6 is like explode. 5, 9, 17, 29, 33, 45. Or storm and 17, 13, 19, 25, 27, 27, 49, 43, and 49 are frigid. And the rest of it is just physical. Also in the 52 it goes random. However, the random is just basically the triple elementals. And that's where we get into the AI or CPU data of the game. Primevil. And this is where it gets important to understand the boss. So, one thing to know, like, anything that is has marked on the data with double exclamation points are marked form and will not be selected. Possibly because like again, this game has like a lot of like bugs and like not properly coded parts. So I guess you could say it's kind of rushed, or maybe not. So here's that one thing about like that after during turn 52 and after turn 52, it's random. So anything that's after turn 51, it will do this. Explode, frigid, and storm. Supposedly it will also supposed to have segment and pollen, which is already at this point bullshit. And I think it's unlikely that they fixed this. Unless they did, that would be so dangerous. So that's about it. And now here's one of the conditions as well. So yeah, cyclone do appear here. So if more than one of anti-fire, anti-bolt, or anti-gold is used last turn, pollen, necrosis, cyclones, clash, and crush, all of them are at 20%. Again, this is the only time that necrosis, another time that necrosis would appear, but again, that's how you memorize the elementals and have some way to mitigate the elemental skills as well, aside from the walls, then yeah, you'll never see this. And as for the reason as to why, and now you will see the reason as to why. There we go. How about why specific usage of elementals from this? So if turn minus 1 is multiple of 5, and basically you will use explode. If it's a multiple of 6, it's frigid, and if it's a multiple of 4, it's storm. So this can be confusing because some of them are really multiple of 4, so you can just change it to 0 to 50. So anything that is 0 from 5, so multiple of 5 is like, yeah, explode. So why is 0 explode? Well, that's how it goes in internally, like turn 1. It's kind of like a anyway, yeah. Not is that all of them also like intense, so it's not that hard to remember. So 11 and 6 you can convert it to like 5 and 6, and 0 and 5s. Where it gets confusing is basically the storm and frigid. Thankfully though, the obvious ones are basically anything that is 6. So you have some way to like basically tell it's a 7, 13, 19, 25, 37, 43, and 14. So anything else that is just purely 4, like 5, like 5, 9, or like 4, 8, 16, 20, just 28 I think, 32, and 44. So yeah. But again, we might not end up using walls here, but we'll see. So that's the very explanation as to why there's a specific usage of like elementals just eating randomly, but still kind of fixed anyway. So it's not that hard once you get to it. So, and that's the explanation for as to why it was better like that. Next is if result was used last turn. And yeah, here's the pattern. It's just random elementals, random elemental, or either segment at all, which you don't want to happen. Again, pollen is also both balls, because if they petrify the ending, it's just goodbye. And if the buffs are expiring, also goodbye. If someone else was panic, very goodbye. Again, if you have 10 buffs, then 10 or more buffs is basically a result. And here's the one. The one was used last turn. Funnily, it can also just like 20% attack. Still, most of the time, it will also entangle like 4/5. Still, thankfully, wall was never in the game, and I think it'd still be until like the remaster. Membrane, however, is still in, and it's something to worry about because of necrosis. So membrane is just equal necrosis. That's basically it. you're not safe there. Even if you defend because of how bullshit necrosis is, yeah, you will still like it either. So it has a rare chance of HP up, which is probably almost every class skill, which of course does nothing. And now here we go with the patterns. So if 100%, just all physicals and even attack is included. Nothing too dangerous. Now 75% is where bigger danger comes, because you no longer attack, and it's either will use Entangle or Membrane. And again, Membrane is necrosis, so fucking neat. And so you hope that both of these two will never come. But 50% will do Slash and Rush. Ever notice that everything else has a low exclamation point, meaning it probably might have not been coded properly, or have malformed codings, and that's why you take a note of this. And after that is HP. He is less than or equal to 25%. Yeah, back to like having all the 3 dangerous physicals on top of just straight up necrosis and Entangle. Now before we tackle some extras, I guess, notice about 50%. It only uses 2 skills. If this were also, if the remaster was also never fixed and just only uses Slash and Rush, then yeah, we have a chance to like fucking just cheese this by just staying at 50%. Until we reach like the last physical, we can now finally use skills and then just try to survive at the berserk, or like the 52 above, 52 or above turns. And that is basically our plan in this point. And how do we achieve that? Where everything just elementals, just straight up murdering? Well, you'll see later. Anyway, let's check on the bonus later. Let's check on the bonuses, or the unused battles. So here's like, it's just randomly fun. Maybe this was supposed to be the formerly like after turn 51, but yeah, that's just crap. Here's the second one. Another crap. This is just necrosis. Do you like when the game just randomly decided, oh, you get necrosis? Number 3, we have Slash, Rush, and Attack, which is very random. Unused 4 is a straight up necrosis, which is very even fun, huh? I wonder what could be. Could it be like supposedly that is guaranteed when it is Membrane or Resolve? And 5 is just the same thing. Just negative percent and like 25% of like a physical. Unused 6, a larger chance of necrosis, but like, wow. That's a funny smash, I guess. Like, still, yeah. The last one, funny enough, has like Slash, Rush, and then malformed necrosis for whatever reason. Which means it's always a Slash and Rush, kind of like this person. So how do we deal with like majors look like even and not having protector and dominance? Well, reminder that you might have seen already from my playthrough before, another accessory, and even just recently of my recording. So let's just check a little bit of like features again. And here we go. And this is it. Tourmaline. Which are made from tricolors. And while it's very expensive, it is very much easier to make. And yes, while this is very useless in most applications anyway, this one, in Primevil, it is actually fucking useful. Like that, this is also pretty good because if you just do like 40%, well, this one you need like 3 in order to reach like the best fucking physical resistance. At least here, I think at least only 40% and a boosted immunize. We are now allowed to survive like the elemental parts of the fight. Still hope for the best that the RNG won't kill us though. That's all I will say about it. And the best part about it, we only need 10. Which are very easy as long as you know how to like manipulate, and I do have found a way to easily manipulate and get like a lot of like tricolors so easily. Or I could even get to like up to like even 13. So all you need is probably like 2 of each or even 3 of each if you want to be safe. Basically, I think the elemental hopefully will be survivable. If not, up 3 does not hurt. So we'll have like a lot of accelerators as well for the boosted immunize, and you basically have a very good thing, I guess, at this point. And compared to Adama's, where you need fucking 50 of Cullinan. And while you can probably manipulate it and probably try to get the best seed of like RNG of quick save RNG of like Cullinan as possible, you will just still lose anything in this. So maybe one day we will just like do a bonus episode where I just try to like get a lot of Cullinan. And this is how basic it is about this. Not only that, so and also, okay, let me just again, I'm just only doing this impromptu and not scripted, so like yeah. But yeah. So not only will it allow us to survive as well in levels, it also will allow us to survive every time we go for like boosted immunize. We could also go for like even much more crazier things like boosting as well of like having like, you know, Bravan 2 and some other buffs at least. So all we need anyway is just immunize. Here's the one that we'll be bringing to the fight is a Hexer. Since we can't really do that much anyway, and Hexers are pretty much better. Basically the reverse of like the Troubadours at least. So it's going to be pretty good. Speaking of which, like, let's get about it. So, so with this, it's possible to still bring like protector and having shield skills in case like something really terrible happens. So yeah. Even then, I think we can also just do it without having a protector and just bring the best of like a fucking damage dealers here. So I might fucking plan to have like, so this is going to be my party. So as a Marauder owner, we're going to go nighttime and deal crazy damage with like either just boosted normal attack or just having as well like, you know, Mida Reba. Next up, we're going to have basically as well another best damage dealer, especially for bait, is breaking Parada. Parada the Dark Hunter. Parada's bait could let us like fucking like deal damage and deal tons of damage, especially if one that got hit on the slash. As like, you know, as any of the front row, or just be any of the front row, or like even better if it hits onto like Parada themselves, which can give us some big ass fucking damage. Next up, of course, Xeroxan the medic. Xeroxan, of course, is important. It is vital to have the medic because Immunize allows us to survive all types of damage, including the elementals as well. And with boosted, we can actually just make damage even further less, and all of the survival. So that's for the front row. As for the back row, we're going to have Fiesta the Survivalist. It's also very vital, and having like access to first turn on top of being one of the best damage dealers in the game, can really skip a lot of phases and just blast the shit out of like Primevil with Apollon and multi-hit. Apollon is also pretty good since they're not resist to stun, and having them stun at any point of time is a free turn. It's an instant free turn, or free damage turn if it's still damaging enemies. And lastly, we're going to have our Hexer. Unfortunately, again, as I have not shown it on the episode, yes, I did rest it at least. Now, while the ailments are very useless because again, their debuffs are pretty much still going to be helpful, especially lessening the damage and on top of like having immunize as well. Likely making the damage at least and hopefully into significant survivability. And also having access to frailty debuff, which means like we can just make our damage dealing even much faster. Also, funny revenge, well, we're never using revenge enemy unless it comes up, which can still be useful. And like that's going to be our party. You will see more of it later anyways. So yeah. I think that's it for the bonus episode. I'm not sure if my mouth move a lot here, like, you know, and this kind of prototype of a VTuber model. But yeah, it's also transparent. I really did because I chose a color that just fucking somehow made it transparent. Yeah. I mean, it's almost kind of fitting as well, considering stars here anyway sometimes could be also crystalline. Kinda like a second beginning of it, so yeah. And that's it for like our bonus episode. So yeah, that's it. EOIHD, the design is really cool. So I think they did some slight censoring onto the remake, I guess that's all I can say about it. But yeah. Funny to say about that cycling ignores defense modifiers, but not really. And it's funny, someone mentioned that this is way weaker than like any of their other basic skills. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for the bonus and the 16.5 episode of the game. I think I might record after this anyways, immediately. So like we can do like, so we can now finally do the finale. Anyway, I hope you enjoy about this bonus episode. Thank you for watching. I will see you into the finale of Eternal Odyssey, where we finally try to beat and complete the labyrinth, the heart of the labyrinth, and 100% complete. So, I guess this is see you later. Bye bye. Bye. How many stars, guys?